We have a really cool author today.
We do.
I'm very excited to talk to him. His name is oh gosh, I should have asked him how to pronounce his last name, and now I'm going to butcher it.
Well, we'll just call him Victor and find out what happens.
That sounds good. Let's call him Victor.
Yeah, we're really good friends, us and Victor.
Me and Victor.
The rest of you should pronounce his last name, but us, we get to just call him Victor. G'day, Jenny. Good to see you.
Oh, Jenny made it. I forgot to send you a link. Sorry. Oh, we got such good news from John. I'm so happy to see Jenny.
That's right. She's promised us a pizza.
She has. I love you, Jenny. I love you, love you, love you. Okay, so he's a certified trainer in the success principles in the Canfield methodology. That's Jack Canfield.
Oh, Jack.
Yeah.
Uncle Jack.
Uncle Jack.
Oh.
I know Jack's a great guy. Victor is also a certified holistic health coach and a health wellness and nutrition expert. Right up my alley. So
there's a lot going on there.
What Victor doesn't know is that Jamie and I are actually former gym owners, and I'm pretty much certified in everything from nutrition to CrossFit to Zumba to spin to personal training to everything in between.
And I'm certified in crazy.
Certified in crazy.
Certifiable.
He's the author of the book, You Can Become Successful. It is below us right now on our carousel. It's on a good deal. It's only $11.99.
Wow, that's a great price.
All you gotta do is click that. But
less than $12 for success.
For success?
Ooh.
That's a very inexpensive price for success. And
everybody that's got live-in kids right now, grab that book, wrap it up, give it to them for Christmas or Thanksgiving. However urgent it is to get them on their own and out of the house.
Exactly. So he's also a contributing author to Mark Hoverson's book, The $1 Million Day. Ooh, I want to talk to you about that. Proven 24-hour blueprint reinvents your future with radical productivity, profits, and peace of mind. That sounds fun. Victor's also a co-author of another book called Success Breakthroughs. That's also with Jack Canfield. Jack Canfield's got some great books. He's the original creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul. If you do not know who Jack is. He's also a co-author of the book Dating Destiny with Nate O'Brien. Interesting. He's a transformational trainer. He's a coach. He's a motivational speaker. He loves helping people succeed and inspiring them to achieve great things in their lives. He worked in the corporate field in finance for nearly 2 decades, primarily as a performance analyst. I bet he likes spreadsheets.
Who doesn't?
Right. He later transitioned into the world of internet marketing. That's my gig. And entrepreneurship in 2013. Also, I love internet marketing. Jamie and I, as influencers, I say it all the time. All influencers are is glorified affiliate marketers. We're just affiliate marketing with a bigger voice. That's it. So he later transitioned in that world. He left the corporate world, and he truly enjoys being an entrepreneur, which I love. Jamie also now loves being an entrepreneur. He loves to travel the world and meet great people. He enjoys freedom, flexibility, lifestyle. He now has as an entrepreneur, as well as being able to work from any place in the world.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah. So
not only being able to work from any place in the world, but having the money to get there.
Yeah. And he also has a very big belief that you and I have, which I love.
That Jamie's always right. Oh, good. Oh, I'm so excited.
That's not the belief.
Oh, well.
He believes that
you believe what you believe.
He believes that the more people you serve and help become successful, the more successful you'll be in life.
Yeah.
We always say rise by lifting up others. Hey, J-Lo, welcome.
G'day, J-Lo.
Welcome. Feel free to give us a little follow, and we'll give you a little fun graphic.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. So,
well, let's bring Victor out here.
Yeah, he's also a dedicated and active Catholic.
Oh.
Devoted Catholic. So, awesome. Let's give him a very warm Amazon welcome. I got to bring him up.
I don't know.
I thought you had him. I thought you had it. I'm bringing him on. There we go.
Smooth.
That was so smooth.
I'll even unmute him, seeing you didn't do that. It's 1 point each right now.
Thank you, guys. Great to be here.
Okay, so the pressing question, Victor. Do you want Amy and I both to try pronouncing your last name first, and then you can correct Amy?
I'll just say straight out, it's pronounced Dedaj. It sounds like massage.
Dedaj, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Dedaj, welcome,
yeah, Victor
Amazon
Dedaj.
Customer. Hold on 2 seconds. Here's a little graphic for you. Thanks for the follow. We really appreciate it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Dedaj, that's what I would have thought. Dedaj. Awesome.
So, just putting it out there, whenever you played sports, it could have been, and that little instrument that you kick or through, then that would be Dedaj ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice,
That
nice.
and more terrible jokes for the next half hour. You're welcome.
So tell me about you can become successful. Discover the secrets of high achieving people. Now I love this because so my husband and I, we work with really high end people. We work with very successful people, and we know that when we shifted and we started working with these people, we started being around them, our mindset changed just by being around them. It was like we started seeing things different. I think one of the very first things that Jamie started recognizing in himself was he used to look at things and go, how much is that going to cost me? And now he goes, how much is that going to make me? Big difference in the way we think. Right?
Yeah, as opposed to how much is the price tag? How much does that cost? It's like, no, I noticed I changed from going, well, we can't afford that to, oh, wow, we got to make more money and get that.
Yeah.
Like I changed from what I don't have to what I need to do to get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it all starts with that shift in your mindset, because it's the difference between having an abundance mindset and a scarcity mindset. The abundance mindset says, how can I not afford? What can I do to afford it? The scarcity mindset says I can't afford it. So it always looks at the cost, doesn't look at the value you get from it. If something costs you $5,000, but it can make you $25,000, why would you not want to invest in it if you can make $20,000 off it? So a lot of people make that mistake. They don't see the value in it. And I think when you're trying to sell something to someone, you got to make them see the value, especially if it's high ticket. They're always doing a cost equation. So if something costs $2,000, but they only see $1,500 in value, they say, I'm going to lose money on this. So when you're selling to people, you always have to make sure you're showing the value. But you're right. Also, who you surround yourself with is very important. Jim Rohn used to say, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So you got to look at your circle. Are these people negative or not successful going to drag you down? If it is, then you need to get yourself a new circle. Because you guys mentioned when you change your circle, everything changed. And you mentioned Jack Canfield. He and his former partner, Mark Victor Hansen, shared in one of their books, I believe it was The Aladdin Factor. They were at this event for the New York Chiropractic Society many years ago. And Tony Robbins was also there speaking. So during the break, they chatted with him for a few minutes, and they asked him, Tony, you make so much money. You make $50 million a year, and you're not that much more. You're probably almost as smart as you are. Why is it you make so much more money than we do? And then Tony Robbins asked him, well, what in your mastermind group, how much do the people in your mastermind group make? And they said they each make about $1 or $2 million. He says, that's the difference. In my mastermind group, everyone makes $100 million, and they stretch my thinking. I'm able to come up with so many great ideas because I surround myself with these people making so much more money. And I'm able to come up with so many great ideas because of who I surround yourself with. You need to change your mastermind group. And that was a big learning lesson for them. So once they learned that, guess what? They started making a lot more money because they start adding more successful people to the mastermind group. So you really have to see you got to be careful who you surround yourself with, because negative people are going to drag you down. You need to surround yourself with positive people, successful people, because they will stretch you out, and great thing to be able to count. You'll be able to see new things that you guys mentioned by surrounding yourself with those very successful people. There's a different kind of energy when you're with successful people. Could contrast it to the negative people who, like, when you spend like a half hour, then you just feel totally tired and drained because that negative energy really wears you out.
Yeah, and even if those people aren't in the physicality of your environment, for everyone listening at home, one of those people could be the news program. If 20% of your time each day is watching news, and let's just be honest, it's not uplifting news.
Yeah.
It's not let's be excited news. It's always dramatic, drama, unhappy, frustrating, problem. So all the books you read can consist. Yet the thought forms people have exists in their energy field around them. So when you're actually physically in the environment of people, you're affected by the thoughts they're having, and we respond by the micro expressions in the body language. So people that are just always negative, they're always like expressing this emotional state with their body that you're picking up with. And then your midbrain's going, hey, I've got to be super alert here. There's a problem. This person's not happy. There's something I'm not aware of that could be danger and take my life. So just in the very science of how the brain works, it's true. Yet alone the words they use, the thoughts they use, the situations they use. Children learn by their environment. They mimic. So do you in a group of people. So yeah, it's very important by the group of people you surround yourself with. It's great now that Victor's got that, pardon me, got that information there for you guys. And his book's right there. You can become successful, discover the secrets of high achieving people. So for less than $12, one of the 5 people can be Victor. And that sounds like a pretty good person to have in your environment. So grab that book and spend the evening with Victor, just flipping through the pages and hearing what he has to say.
And hello, Alan DeBay.
Alan.
He says, Jamie, Amy, Victor, hey. Hello, everybody coming in. And Channing, thank you for the follow. This one's for you. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Tatum. In my dreams.
So that's what that dream was about. So that's great. So Victor, a question that always everybody's interested in is, what stimulated you? What was the catalyst for going, hey, I'm going to write this book?
You know, I think number one, I think everyone has a book in them. It just, for some reason, people just don't come around to doing this. Like, oh, I'm not an author, or no, or listen to me. But I learned in my entrepreneurial journey that you never know whose life you can inspire. So even if you write a book and 1 or 2 people are inspired by that, you made a difference in people's lives. So I just focus more on, you know, can this help people? Can this inspire them? Because there's so many people struggling out there. And I just wanted to get this book out because I believe that it could help some people out. And that's what you need to focus on. Focus on what it can do. And if you realize, man, this can make a difference in people's lives, you know what? It makes me feel good. I think contribution, Tony Robbins talks about this a lot. He says contribution is like one of the most important things. For many people, it is. If you can make a contribution in someone's life, you made a difference in your life, you're a success. It doesn't matter if you don't have to have about $10 million, $20 million. If some people's lives are better because you existed, you're a successful person, in my opinion.
You know what? And there are so many ways that we can help people, and it doesn't have to be financial. And, you know, I just posted something this morning on social media. It was a story about a gal that's life was saved by a stranger who just drove by and said a word out a window. And what happened was she was super down, super depressed. Her car, she couldn't get a ride didn't show up, decided to walk to work that day, ended up on a bridge, was standing on a bridge looking over the side. And she was very much contemplating getting ready to jump. And a stranger that drove by just yelled out the window, "Don't jump." That was it. Just 2 words, "Don't jump." And that saved her life that day. And she stopped and she went, maybe I shouldn't. And that stranger saved her life. She'll never know who that person was. We never know. Our words are so powerful. And we really can use them to hurt people or help them or lift them up. You know? It's so powerful. And we never know how we're affecting others. We never know. Like that person that said that probably has no idea.
They might have thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
They might have gone, "Don't jump!"
Yeah, they might have been just kidding. Like they might not have realized that person was
actually contemplating.
it, you know?
That is interesting. So it's something that Amy and I try to do. No, we don't try to do it. We do it to the best of our ability. Let me reframe that. we do it to the best of our ability in each situation. And that is attempt to get a smile. By sharing a smile, we start with smile. Yet anybody that we're interacting with, we look to get a smile from them because the smile changes their state and they're in a much happier place. And that makes, if everyone was a little bit happier, the world itself would be a lot happier.
Yeah.
So this is pretty cool. This sounds like you and I could hang out all night talking over a cup of kombucha tea. Which is my favorite thing right now, lemon ginger kombucha tea. I feel healthy drinking it. The rest of the body goes, but I like it. So I see the cover of your book there. You've got some of those New York yellow cabs in it. Is that right?
Yes.
And that's where you're at, over there on that side of the world.
Yes, I am. I'm in New York City, born and raised in New York City, lifelong New Yorker.
Wow.
And why did you decide to put the cabs on there as is it just the rat race of New York or what?
It actually just happened randomly. I was just walking by with my friend who was the photographer who was taking the picture, and I just said, "Oh, this just feels so New York." I wasn't looking for it, but I was just walking. I said, "Hey, this is perfect. Let's put this in the book." Sometimes that's the thing. You always have to be open, paying attention, because a lot of times we miss opportunities because we're not looking for them. We don't think that they're there because you have something in your brain called the reticular activating system, which filters out the unimportant thing but looks for the important thing. So, for example, if you're looking for if you decide you want to get a red car, you walk outside, all of a sudden you notice all these red cars. Did they pop out of nowhere? They were always there. It's just they weren't important to you. But now you want to get a red car, you start seeing it. So when something becomes important to you, you start noticing these things. So if you're looking for opportunities, start saying to yourself there are opportunities. Because we were talking about negative self-talk. One of the things that stops people is that there's so much what we say to ourselves is very, very negative. And a lot of it's very unconscious, like probably 80 to 90% of our thoughts is negative, and that sabotages. That's why a lot of times people want to be very successful, and they say, why do I do this to mess myself up? It's because of our negative self-talk. A great book I would recommend people buy is What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Shad Helmstetter. That book was 5 years ago.
It's a great book.
It is a great book. So if you definitely buy it, it changed the way I talk to myself. Now I'm much more careful, and I'm saying a lot more positive things to myself. 7, 8 years ago, I realized a lot of my self-talk was very negative. So when you start doing all these things, you'll start noticing things. You'll start noticing opportunities. It's really whatever you believe becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you think of bad things, woe is me, guess what? Woe will be you. If you think life is good, guess what? Good things will happen to you because you'll start noticing those things and you'll notice the opportunities. So really what you believe becomes a self-fulfilling opportunity because of your reticular activating system.
I love that. We always say life is happening for you. And this morning I was listening to one of my teachers and he was talking about Rumi. And Rumi always said, just live life as if it's rigged in your favor. Mm-hmm. And I love that. I thought that was just such a great, like it just landed really well for me. Like, yeah, just live like that. Like,
there's
rigged in your favor.
There's a story, and I can't remember it fully, but I know part of the gig where this guy goes, war had broken out, and the farmer's son was of the age, and he got enlisted. They go, well, where's Jonathan? He goes, well, he got called up, he got drafted for the war. And they go, oh, that's bad news. And he goes, oh, no, that's good news because on his way to get to the drafting, he came across a guy that fell off his horse, and he helped that guy, and the guy gave him like $100 million. He goes, oh, that's great news. Nah, that's bad news because as he was carrying his money, he got robbed because he had the money. You know, oh, that's bad news. No, that's good news because when he was being robbed, he goes, like every time you think, well, this is bad. Well, actually, it could be bad and good, the same coin. It depends which side you're choosing to look at. Now, I know some people get a little scared or defensive when you say choose, yet it is true. The thoughts that you have are choices that you have that are trained habitually, and you can train different thoughts to happen as your habit of thought. So you can always be choosing a different way to look at things. It's like, well, I don't see it right now, but this is in my favor. Or you can call it faith. I don't see it right now, but God wouldn't have done this if there wasn't a reason, you know, as opposed to blame. Everybody now, let's do the same. No, don't do the same. No more blame. That's insane.
Victor had no idea he was going to be subjected to you breaking out and dance, poor guy.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm loving it.
Finally, that energy shot kicked in. I don't know if you can tell the difference.
But you bring up an important point because, you know, we brought up Jack Canfield, and he wrote a book called The Success Principles, and his very first principle of success is take 100% responsibility for your life, because the truth is very few people do. Because when you take 100% responsibility, you become solution-oriented. You try to figure out how to solve the problem. When you don't take full responsibility, you start thinking that someone else is responsible, or the economy is responsible, the president, the government, whoever. Anyone but I am responsible. And when you feel that way, you will not take action. You will not become solution oriented. Now, people react differently. This equation he has is E plus R equals O. The event plus your response to the event determines the outcome. So
Yes.
that's why two people can grow up in poverty in a really tough situation. One becomes a murderer and a criminal. The other person becomes a lawyer. It's because it's the response that they chose it. Or two people get stuck in traffic. One person is yelling, cursing, he's like, oh, this stinks. Why this is always happening? The other person's relaxing, drinking his coffee. He's listening to music. He's like, okay, this will eventually stop. It's the same event, but they have different responses. And as a result, they have different outcomes. It's what you choose that results in the outcome. That's where your power lies.
It's very, very interesting. And it's so true. And yet, if you haven't experienced or walked down this path, it seems like just some fanciful philosophy that you find on the back of a pub coaster. Yet, once you process, do it, live it, you see a significant change. Like, seriously, a significant change in your life, in your state of being. Hey, Joanna. Hey, J-Lo. Welcome. And so I can only encourage every single person, if your life is not happy and excited and full of joy and you're wondering what's happening next, have a look at the you and how the you can change. And one great way is Victor's book. Like, all this information is in Victor's book of how you can become successful. And I just want to point out that success is different for different people. Like, I'm not a money person. I mean, I'm great at sales and all this other stuff about making the money, yet I'm not a money person. So for me, when someone goes, oh, hey, this person's got this amount of money, I'm like, okay, they're terrible at jokes. So this
or if somebody tries to motivate you, you can make so much money with this. It's like, Jamie's like, I don't care.
That's not me. So no matter where you are right now in your life, you are better, more successful, more financially secure than other people. And there's other people that can say the same looking at you. So don't compare, because you can look either way. It doesn't really matter. What do you want? What can you do to make your life better? And if that includes your friends and family, what can you do to support and help them to have a better place? Look at what you've got. I mean, well, we were in a hot tub this morning, hanging out doing a business meeting. So, hell, life is pretty good. Yet, even when I grew up in poverty, I would walk along the creek bank, and I was so happy looking at the animals and catching fish, and my life was full of joyful experiences, and I had a lot less money than I have now. When I was backpacked through Africa, there was extreme differences in the amount of money. Yet the smile that people had on their face was genuine and real. So that's where, like, that attitude of gratitude is life-changing. So, Victor, in your book, what are some of the key things that you really want people to, like, hey, you bought the book, great. If you're not going to read anything, make sure you read these few pages or these couple of chapters, or like, do that. This takeaway, yeah.
Well, one of the things you just mentioned, gratitude is extremely important, because you have an attitude of gratitude, everything changes. You know what? The thing is, a lot of things we take for granted. I mean, one exercise Jack used to do with us in his events it was called a rampage of gratitude. We'll go through the whole area and look at the things to be grateful. The chairs we have to sit on so we don't fall down. The carpeting. The fact we have a bathroom we could use in the hotel. The fact we have electricity. All these little things we don't think about. But some of these things, electricity, we didn't have 100 years ago. So little things we could be grateful. We had air conditioning and it's 90 degrees, or if it's the winter, we have heat. We're not freezing. Yeah. Little things you could be, and when you find more things to be grateful for, you find out you even more things show up that you can be grateful for, and everything changes. And I can tell you, the very successful people in all the different forms of success, the more gratitude they have, the more successful their lives become. So some of the other things I would mention, as I mentioned before, take 100% responsibility for your success. Be persistent. Don't give up. Too often people give up right before they're about to achieve success. They give up right at the goal line. Or as Napoleon Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich, that guy who gave up 3 feet from the goal and then he sold it to someone else, and that guy went 3 extra feet and he got all that gold. Don't give up too soon. A lot of things take a lot of time. You have to be consistent. Show up every single day. I'll give you an example. If you double a penny every single day for 30 days, it is $5 million. But if you double that penny every other day, it's only $163.84. So that is what lack of consistency is hurting you. So you have to be consistent. Again, you got to work on your mindset because your personal development is very important. We talked about negativity. One great thing to do every single day, the most important times of the day for your subconscious mind, which means 95% of your decisions, are the first hour in the morning and the last hour before you go to bed, because that's when it's most impressionable. So that's why, if you're cramming for an exam right before you go to bed, you can do well the next morning. Or if you watch a horror movie right before you go to bed, you may have nightmares. So make sure you're reading positive stuff or listening to positive stuff. Don't listen to anything negative. Don't watch the news in the morning or in the evening before you go to bed. So that is very important. Get yourself a mentor, a coach. It is so important. All successful people have mentors because they will reduce the time frame required to become successful. Some people say, well, it costs money. But you know what? If you pay $5,000 for a coach or $10,000, but the coach can make you $50,000 or $100,000, again, look at the investment. And instead of taking you 8 years to become successful, it takes you 2 years. Isn't it worth saving 6 years of frustration and misery? Reducing that time frame. If you look at all the successful athletes, they all have coaches. They all have trainers. You'll notice in these little things they can improve on. That's why they become so successful. So you have to do that, and you have to be focused. Another mistake people make is they just try to do 5 or 6 things in one day. You cannot multitask. It is a myth, because when you're multitasking, what you're actually doing is you're going back and forth between the tasks. And if you're working on a task and you switch to another one, it took you a while to build that momentum. And if you go to the other one, you will lose that momentum because you have to start working on the other task. And studies have shown that if you keep multitasking, you are far less productive. You could be anywhere from 50 to 100% less productive. And I'm going to give you an example as to why it doesn't work. So listen to this. Just count from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now say the letters A through J. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Now do it, say A1, B2. A1, B2, C3. Notice you're slowing down now. Where he's counting the letters and the numbers, you're going quick. Where you're going back and forth, it's slower. That is what happens when you multitask. So you got to focus on one task. If you're doing businesses, do it one business at a time. If you try to do 5 businesses at once, you will be successful in none of them. I can guarantee you that. So focus, acronym, follow one course until successful. Or you can think of the magnifying glass. When you keep moving it on the paper, nothing happens. But if you focus on one spot and you have the sun going through it, it's going to burn a hole in the paper. So focus is so important. And just watch other people. Tony Robbins says success leaves clues. Watch what other people do. If you can't afford a mentor now, maybe down the road, watch YouTube videos. Read books by successful people. So you can learn. They can be your mentors in the beginning, and then later on, you can afford a mentor, you can do that. So follow what other successful people do, and that's going to shorten your learning curve. And here's the thing. You're going to make mistakes. No one's 100% perfect. You're going to make mistakes. Get feedback from other people. Don't be afraid to ask, hey, what can I do to improve on this? And get feedback. Be willing to learn and learn from your mistakes. Think when a plane is going from New York to LA, it's off course most of the time. But the pilot keeps adjusting. Makes adjustments. And finally, at the end, it lands at the airport in LA. So just make adjustments, get the feedback. Don't want to go off course. Just get back on course.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, the multitasking thing is very interesting. It came around, that myth came around when computers started, because computers could have multiple things happening in the background, and it looked they were all happening at once. And computers, this new technology, oh, look at everything that got happened at once. Yet what happened is the computer is jumping from this program to this program, back to this program, where the human brain, just like you demonstrated very clearly, which I'm going to use the next time I'm teaching a group.
I knew you were.
I like this one.
So going to use that one.
And so I'm going to give you one back that you may or may not have heard as well, that you can use when you're helping and coaching people. And that is the significance of a coach. because a coach has already gone down that journey and knows a quicker and faster way. So very quickly, we'll do it for 30 seconds. How many words can you say in 30 seconds that don't have the letter A in it? Okay, time is on. No, that's minutes. That would have been a long show. That's 30 minutes. Keep going. Okay,
Guys,
30
feel
seconds.
free to do it in the chat.
Do it at home. Do it wherever you're watching right now. I'm going to start the timer. You've got 30 seconds to say how many words, we'll count them off on your fingers, that you can create in 30 seconds. And I've given you a bunch of time now to start thinking
That don't have the letter A.
That do not have the letter A. Do not have the letter A in it. Ready? Go.
You want me to say, or you just write it down?
Anything. Oh, sure.
I got
Strong.
E.
B. Flip.
E.
Yes.
Yes.
Try.
Try.
Horse. Flood.
Oh. It.
Good.
E.
Right.
LOL.
That's not a word.
Trombone.
Loud is.
Phone. Loud.
Violin.
Time's up. Time's up.
Guilt.
Yeah. So roughly there, Victor, and folks at home, just have a think. How many words did you come up with right now that didn't have the letter A in it? In 30 seconds.
Probably about 20.
You did not do 20.
Yeah, there's about 20 here.
But as a group. No, individually, Amy. Individually.
Joanna's still going. Plus, got, get, mule, guilty.
Okay. So now what I want you to do is count 1 to 100, and we'll see how far you get in 30 seconds. Ready? Here we go.
Ready? Here we go. Victor,
3,
you and I. Ready? Here we
2,
go.
1, go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34.
Let's just stop because you guys got up to around 40 in 10 seconds. Every one of those words did not have the letter A in it. You already knew all those words. You already knew that. Yet when you were given the task, you struggled because you didn't have a coach to help you out. That's the difference. Do you like that one, Victor?
That was awesome. I'm going to use that. That was a great one.
Well, I'm going to use yours. High five. Nice trade. Boom. That's what happened when coaches get together.
That is what happens when coaches get together.
It's nice. Like, you don't know what you don't know until someone points out that you didn't know it, negatively and positively. That's where you've got to have a coach, or grab Victor's book, which he's going to be coaching you as you read through it. And exactly what he said. First hour in the morning, last hour at night.
So
subconscious mind is more of a sponge. In the morning, it's going to direct the course of your day. At night, your subconscious mind is going to play on that overnight. It's going to think about it, challenge. Your brain's there to solve problems. So give it some problems you want a solution for. It's not like, oh, why doesn't anyone like me? Boom, boom, here's all the reasons. Okay, how can I be more successful? Oh, here's a book. Oh, take it, run with it.
And Jamie and I like to start our days with meditation and workouts in the mornings. We like to start our day together, have a tea, have a whatever, hang out, chat, and just we spend time in the hot tub.
And we get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, so that first hour there's no rush.
Yeah.
We don't have to start doing anything till 7 or 8 o'clock. So
yeah,
we've got plenty of time just to gently relax in our day. And then going to bed nice and early means that you're more in sync with the sun and the planet and everything else as well. So.
And then I like to end my day with hypnosis. So I'll do hypnosis.
Self-hypnosis, going back to bed.
Yeah.
Sleep.
So,
yeah,
awesome.
you guys mentioned several things. Like meditation is something very powerful, and your mind comes with a lot more creative stuff. There's so many benefits in meditation. And Tim Ferriss, the author of the 4-Hour Workweek, a number of years ago interviewed the people who were at the top of their profession, and he asked them a bunch of questions. And one thing he noticed was 90% of these top earners in the profession did some form of morning meditation or mindfulness exercise. So a lot of successful people do some form of meditation. Visualization is something something very powerful. You visualize the kind of life that you want, because what happens is when you visualize something you don't have, there's a structural tension in your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind, which is very powerful, will try to find ways to get you that life that you've been visualizing. So visualization is something very powerful. So the things you do in the morning, exercise is great. That's a good health benefit. But it's also good for your stress level. It reduces your stress level. So when people exercise, tend to feel less stress. So what you do in the morning, like that hour of power, some people will write goals, go over their goals, do their affirmations. Those things are also very powerful. And anything you say, also say like your affirmations, goals, say it with feeling, because your subconscious mind only responds to emotion and feeling. So that's something very important.
Yeah.
So,
Love it. Love it. Oh man, we could talk to you for hours, Victor.
Woo-hoo! Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much, Victor. Now, if people want to get more of you, or they want to connect, they want to find out.
Or maybe they want to just ask you a question about your book. Can they find you on social media?
Yeah, they could just Google my name. They can look me up there, or they can look me up on Facebook or LinkedIn. Just look up my name and reach out there. I'd love to hear from you.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Victor, we'll hook up too on social media, and I'm super excited that you came on, and I'll be in touch with you. We'll send you some videos, and we'll send you some information, and we'll send you this podcast. It goes onto a podcast too, so we'll send you that later.
That sounds good. Looking forward. It was great being out. It was great talking to you guys. I had a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Victor, and we will talk soon.
Thank you very much,
Have a good
Victor.
night, guys. Take care.
Have an awesome night.
Also, check the chat. See you later.